What do you do when you want to move but you just can't sell your house? It's been on the market for months and all the viewings have dried up. Well, what you do is you stop selling and start swapping. House swapping is the latest trend to hit the property world. With around 10,000 properties registered with swap websites, it's a brilliant way to avoid the dreaded property chain and make that move onwards. We'll be meeting people who want to swap their home permanently.
I'd like to live in the best areas, but I have to...
Wouldn't we all? And we'll show them 3 properties to find their perfect match.
Hello.
Today we're going to show you around. We hope you like it.
If you'd like to swap, perhaps we'll speak soon.
After a day spent road testing each other's properties and lifestyles, we'll bring them to the negotiating table where our straight-talking negotiator, Sunita, will help them thrash out a deal.
He does like a big bathroom.
And I'd like to have a Lamborghini parked outside, but that's not going to happen, is it?
Before we find out if they'll swap homes for good. Hello and welcome. Today I'm in a spa town. No, not Bath, not Cheltenham, not Malvern, but Epsom in Surrey. Yes, Epsom is a spa town. In its day, it used to attract all the big celebs like Samuel Pepys, King Charles II. He couldn't get enough of the water. Today, however, Epsom is more likely to attract London city slickers, wanting a more slower-paced life and something a little greener. Which begs the question why today's house swapper wants to leave. Introducing Richard. Business entrepreneur and fitness junkie Richard lives with his 2 lodgers in this Victorian 3-bedroom house in Epsom, Surrey. Having moved to the commuter belt a few years ago, Richard is missing the bright lights of London, and inspired by his latest venture, a clothes-swapping website, he's decided to do the same for his house and swap to a property in the city. So that's Richard, and this is the house in question, and here are the front door keys. So put your hands up if you want to have a snoop. Oh, perfect. Right, in we go, and straight into the lounge. Or should one say sitting room? I'm never sure which is posh and which one's not. OK, it's got all the characteristics one would expect to find in a house of this period. You've got the bay window and the lovely period fireplaces with its lovely sinewy detail. And it's also got some things that you wouldn't expect to see, like a wardrobe, a chest of drawers and a papier-mâché crocodile. Right, here we have a second reception room. I guess originally this used to be the dining room. You've got access there out into the garden. But I think what's really interesting in here is that you would expect me to say the focal point of the room is the period fireplace. It's actually the bright blue fridge freezer. The kitchen is relatively new. It's these white, bright, neutral cupboards. And to be honest, there's not a lot one can say about this space. But there is a lot one can say about this space. Yes, it's the old bathroom off the kitchen routine. Personally, I think it's a positive thing being able to shower and keep an eye on your poached eggs, but others, well, they're far more prissy and pedantic than I. Upstairs, there are 2 double bedrooms currently housing Richard's lodgers. And finally, it's the master bedroom. And I see, once again, it's painted in Richard's trademark colour of choice, Arctic white. And I'm glad I know this is Richard's house, because after counting 27 pairs of shoes upstairs, I could have easily mistaken him for Imelda Marcos. Outside is a reasonable-sized garden with lots of potential, currently slightly lacking in the grass department. Richard's 3-bedroom Victorian semi has been valued at £295,000. Time to meet the trendsetter himself, and with matching shades of green, I must be in fashion. So, Richard, your house is very spick and span. You're obviously very house-proud. Why, then, do you now want to kind of consider house swapping?
I think, basically, I'm somebody that's moved from the city into the town, and I want to go back. London's quite cosmopolitan. I've got friends. I've got family there. So I want to go back and be able to, you know, just enjoy being in London again.
You've got a hunger for city living again?
I have. I want to get on the tube, I want to be pushed up next to somebody. That's
squashed under someone's armpit. Oh, the joys of London.
That's what I'm looking for. I actually enjoy that. I like being on the tube. I like seeing the variety that London has to offer.
Yeah.
So those are my motivations, I suppose.
So we're obviously looking in London for your house swap. What kind of areas would you like to live in, or are you just...
I'd like to live in the best areas, but I have to look
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't
in
we
my
all?
budget. So anywhere near a tube station, anywhere near... I'm quite fit, so I like parks, gyms, that sort of stuff.
All right, then what about the style of property? What is it you have in mind, or are you open-minded?
I'm open-minded because I like to be surprised, but I don't think I'd get a three-bedroom house similar to this condition in London. So I'm quite realistic about what I should expect to get.
Okie dokie. Then the other thing we need to talk about that is also very, very critical and crucial is how much this is worth and how much you want to house swap up to.
OK.
All right.
Well, I had an evaluation and it came in at around 295.
Is that the value you want to swap to, or is there some more money to put in the pot? Or?
Well, I do have other properties, so I could look at maybe reinvesting some money from there into this. Okay. I'm open to that. OK, I like it. You're like a Russian gymnast. You're flexible. Right, should we go and watch some, go and look at some houses? Yes. Let's do that. OK, so first up, where are we going, do you think? We're somewhere in the capital. We are going to Wimbledon. Wimbledon?
Wimbledon.
Oh, I like that.
OK.
Yeah, I like Wimbledon.
And I want you to meet Matthew and Anna as they show us round their house.
OK, brilliant.
Hi, and welcome to West Wimbledon. We're the Thomas family.
Behind us is our first floor Victorian 3-bedroom maisonette.
And now through to our living room. Probably my favourite room in the house, and certainly where we spend a lot of our time.
One of the things that I like about the room is the high ceilings. It gives it a feeling of spaciousness, and also the fireplace. We love putting the fireplace on in the winter because where we come from in Melbourne, Australia, it's not too often that you get to do things like light a fireplace nowadays.
Now this is the only part of the house that isn't completed. Matt has been hard at work renovating our kitchen, moving the sink, new cabinets, and we've painted, but we're still to put splashbacks and do a bit more painting. But I've done nothing in this room. It's all my very practical husband.
We've got 3 bedrooms in the flat, and this is the smallest room in the house.
Oh, that sounds like the girls are awake. Let's go and see them. Oh, so this is the girls' room.
Hello, Sophie.
These two are the very lovely reason that we have to move on, to give them a bit more space to run about. In here is our bedroom, the main bedroom. Which is where we would really like to spend some more time sleeping, but with 1.5-year-old twins, sadly we don't get as much sleep as we'd like to.
Well, this is our back garden. It's great to have a garden at the front and a garden at the back, but as you can see, it's not really up to scratch for the summer yet.
So we will be tidying up soon. Just down the hill, we've got Rains Park Station, which will take you into Waterloo in under 20 minutes.
And if you head up the hill, it's about 10 minutes walk to Wimbledon Village. Really great restaurants, pubs, and the Wimbledon Common, which is a really great place to spend time on a weekend. We had the house valued around $340,000.
Matthew and Anna's Wimbledon home is a 3-bedroom first-floor maisonette with front and back gardens. So what would they like to swap to?
We have been here 4 years, but it's just too small for us now.
Because we only expected 1 baby at a time.
Ideally, we're looking for a 3-bedroom, 3 proper-sized bedrooms, or 4 bedrooms.
Perhaps a bit further out in southwest London that's still commutable into town. So that's our home. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to do a swap, just let us know.
Goodbye, girls. Come on.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Come on, Kate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Kate didn't want to wave goodbye.
No, she didn't, did she?
No, she really didn't. Right, what did you think of that property?
I really like the kitchen. I thought the kitchen was really nice.
I know why you like the kitchen.
Why is that?
It's green.
Yes, well...
It's the in colour of the moment, let's be honest about it.
Trend setting.
We are. Together we are setting trends.
The small bedroom, I thought that was really more of a study than I would say a bedroom.
With the bunk beds in.
Yeah.
It looked quite tight.
Well, I like the garden. I mean, it's manageable.
Yeah, well, it looked like you'd already been doing the gardening there, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah. And the area, I like Wimbledon. I think Wimbledon is a really great area to live.
Yeah.
And it's got good, good
links and stuff.
Good links into central London. So yeah, it was okay.
Well, look, let's leave Wimbledon for a minute and let's look at another property. Does South Woodford mean anything to you?
Is that North London?
No.
No, it's East.
Yes.
It's East London.
It's East. South Woodford is out East London, just past the Olympic site.
Oh, great.
So a lot of stuff's happening out there. So I think we should take a look at this.
Yeah.
So we're going to now meet Jamie and Venetia as they show us around their property.
Brilliant.
Hello, I'm Jamie.
I'm Venetia, and welcome to our home in South Woodford.
Come in and have a look. The house itself is a 3-bedroom end of terrace Victorian house.
As you come in through the doorway, we've got a nice, typical Victorian hallway, which leads straight on into the living room.
With a lovely bay window. So that's a really nice family social room that we enjoy living in. So welcome to our kitchen. This is where all the action happens.
And we have views straight out into the garden. As you can see, all my family are out there.
So this is our family bathroom. Actually, freestanding bath and a shower. It's actually got jet washers as well, so it's quite powerful. We're all fighting over it to get in there in the morning.
This is the master bedroom. As you can see, we've actually got a Super King bed in here, so you can see that it's got enough space to hold a big bed as well, which is nice.
This is the second bedroom. Young Drew and Kira sleep here. Also have the future property here, which is something which they're looking to put a deposit on soon.
You're cracking me up.
Come up to the second floor and we can see our third bedroom. So the garden in general is very easy to maintain. It doesn't take any time at all. We describe it as a sort of a wild garden in terms of the flowers and vegetation. And the path leads up to a large garage and workshop area. This is where I go when I need to get away from the family.
Get away from
Bit
us.
of peace and quiet, you know?
This area, it's got a real village feel to it. We've also got a lot of nice bars, restaurants, and yeah, there's loads and loads of choice.
So the current value of our property is £360,000.
Jamie and Venetia's house is a 3-bed end of terrace in South Woodford with a fantastic garden and large garage. So what would they want for their swap?
So the reasons we want to move really is it's a lot more scenery and greenery. It's something that appeals to us, and also it's a chance to try something new as well. The type of property we're looking for is, I think we were quite open-minded in that respect. We would consider almost any property type.
Well, that's our house, and we hope you liked it.
If you'd like to swap, perhaps we'll speak soon.
I love the way they wave. OK, what did you think of the house?
I thought it was really nice, actually. I really liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that it's big. You know, it's got some of the original features there. And the area, you know, I think they said 5 stops from Bank, which is, again, really good.
Yeah.
So I think that it's got a lot going for it. And plus, with East London, I mean, with the Olympic Village coming along...
Yeah.
Things are going to change, and not just for that, but also when the Olympics is gone, you're going to have lots of different parks, lots of different sports.
The legacy the Olympics are going to leave behind in that part of London are going to be huge. And I guess the ripple effect of that affecting somewhere like South Woodford would also be quite noticeable.
I think so, and to be honest, the house has a lot going for it, I think, as well.
OK, so for the third and final property, you want somewhere vibrant, somewhere of real energy, real vitality, a real cosmopolitan melting pot, then I say to you, Camden.
Ah.
Ah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
OK, how do you feel about Camden?
I've never considered living there, but then now when you've suggested it to me, all these possibilities have come into my head.
Well, I tell you what, let's not waste any more time. Let's see it.
Hello, I'm Ed.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to our garden flat just off Mornington Crescent in Camden Town.
Today we're going to show you around. We hope you like it.
This house was built in 1832 and it was originally built as a dairy and it was converted about 30 years ago.
We've made lots of changes to the flat since we've lived here, as we've been here so long now, 13 years. But now it's really how we like it, with solid wood floors and all painted white, which I like best.
In here, we've got our vault rooms. There's 3 vault rooms in total running through. We use it as a dining room at the moment. It used to be the old scullery down here. And if you come down to our secret room down at the bottom, this room here used to be the actual coal cellar. Right, and coming through, here's the bathroom. It's been recently refurbished. My wife loves having a shower, I like having a bath, so this has got a proper standing area in the bath so that you don't slip around and fall over every time you take a wash.
And this is our beautiful kitchen. We've got solid granite work surfaces.
Fitted appliances, built-in washing machine and
No, we haven't.
And fridge as well.
Built-in dishwasher and fridge.
Oh right, yes, built-in
And
dishwasher.
cooker.
I don't really use it very much, to be honest.
No, clearly. This is the smaller of our 2 bedrooms, which we've been using as our son's nursery. We really like the fact that you can walk upstairs to bed, and this is our master bedroom. It's a very quiet room, as it's right at the back of the house and means you get a great night's sleep, which is great in the centre of London.
This is our garden. It's beautifully secluded and southwest facing, so we get the sun in it.
Not only can you sit down here in our lovely patio area, but you've also got another level to the garden, up these stairs, which has plenty of room for sun loungers.
It's our favourite bit of living here, really, isn't it?
Yes.
I think Samuel Johnson said if you're tired of London, you're tired of life. Well, I think if you're tired of Camden, you're tired of life.
Our flat's in a fantastic location because it's so close to the West End. You can actually walk there through Regent's Park, which is only 5 minutes up the road. We now have it on the market at $480,000.
Ed and Nikki's home is a pretty 2-bedroom garden flat in the centre of bustling Camden. So, what's their ideal swap?
We'd like to move on from here because our son Casper is now 3. He needs a bigger garden, and I'd like to be closer to my mum in Surrey so I get more babysitting. Thank you for looking round our flat with us.
I hope you've enjoyed its unique character and location.
And if you'd like to swap, then give us a call.
Right, OK.
For me, I don't really like that, to be honest.
OK. You're allowed to. You're allowed an opinion.
I think the location's brilliant, but I think, you know, for what you're getting for your money, I'm not just about postcode.
Yeah.
I mean, postcode is good, but postcode...
You don't sleep on the street, you sleep in the house.
Yeah, and when you close the door, that's your home. And I just think that for £480,000 to live in such confined space, you're really just doing that because you want to live in Camden and you want to be in that type of postcode.
And would you want to live in Camden that much that you would make that sacrifice?
No.
No. Not even for the little cutesy garden that was very, very sweet, very irresistible, and no grass to mow? That's surely got to be tempting.
I think I'd even mow the lawn if it was a bigger flat.
Yeah. If Richard ain't feeling it, then Richard ain't feeling it.
No, I'm not. I just think that it's not for me, really.
Well, here's a question. Do you know which one you like the most now, or do you need some time to think about it?
I think the second one would be the one.
Gut feeling straight away?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, because for me, I'm used to family houses. I'm used to, you know, traditional looking rooms. I think the second one gave me all of those things, so I think that's a good one for me.
You have spoken, and therefore it will happen. The swap house will be number 2 in South Woodford.
Yes.
Well, there you go, a snap decision there from Richard. Not much deliberation at all. But then, in many ways, because of his fashion swapping website, he is the swapping expert. So here's hoping that the house
fits like a glove. While Richard has another look at the house, Sunita, our house swap negotiator, has some advice. Sunita's been a property negotiator for over 10 years, helping hundreds of clients move onwards and upwards. Her invaluable knowledge will help our swappers negotiate a deal.
If you want to move house quickly, then house swapping could be the answer. Now, there are several websites out there that could help you find your perfect match. You will, of course, still have to have a HIPS report, and you will be paying stamp duty. But, crucially, you get to avoid a chain, and if you're not on with an estate agent, you avoid estate agent fees.
Coming up, even on the swap day, Richard can't escape his fetish for fashion.
I think I've got an outfit like this.
But his home furnishings aren't impressing Jamie.
I think I have to do something about the curtains. My grandmother's got a dress like that.
And as things heat up during negotiation, will the deal end in tatters?
His offer would give the differential of £40,000.
He's dreaming.
It's time to swap homes for the day. Richard is on his way to spend a day in Jamie's shoes at the period end of terrace property in South Woodford, East London. Whilst Jamie, minus Venetia, who is looking after the children, is heading south to try the Victorian semi in Surrey on for size. They have the chance to exchange lifestyles for the day before they decide if a permanent swap is on the cards. Entrepreneur Richard wants to move back to London to enjoy the vibrant city lifestyle. The house in South Woodford offers easy access to the city, and with a host of local amenities, it should be the perfect fit. If he can find it, that is.
Right, number, what was it again?
It's behind you.
It's here. It's here, actually. Ah. Oh, wow, it's the same floor I've got in my house. Very nice.
Always a good sign.
It looks bigger than it showed on the film. It's very nice. I really like it. It's done to a very high level.
That's an even better sign. "30 miles away, Jamie has arrived in the pretty Surrey town of Epsom. He's keen to move his family out of the city to the greener suburbs. But what will he make of Richard's semi-detached home?
Quite cosy, isn't it? Nice and nice wooden floors.
Yes, what good taste he has.
Fridge in the living room. It's unique.
Maybe it's the start of a new trend?
It's good to have a second room downstairs, isn't it? And to have it separate. Maybe a children's playing area, somewhere for us to escape from the children.
Planning how to use the space already, Jamie, I see.
Plus, you've got the bay window. It lets in a lot of light. I think I have to do something about the curtains, though. I'm sure my grandmother's got a dress like that.
Excuse me, Richard's a fashion guru, don't you know? I wonder how Richard's finding Jamie's taste in furnishings.
I like the wood surfaces. I love the kitchen. I don't think I would change anything about the actual downstairs and the kitchen. I like the layout of it all. There's a lot of love in this room. I can feel it. A very family environment.
Richard is feeling the love in South Woodford. But in Epsom, things are a little less romantic.
It's surprisingly good storage, which I'm surprised about. I think it would be better to perhaps cut this piece out and put the fridge from the living room actually into the kitchen.
Revolutionary.
I'm not sure why he's got so many fridges. He's got 1, 2, 3 fridges, but maybe he likes to eat a lot of food.
It's because he's a cool guy. So what about the elephant in the room, the downstairs bathroom?
Yeah, I don't think we find the bathroom particularly practical. Being downstairs, particularly getting ready for work in the morning, I would need to have upstairs, really. Plus, it's about a quarter of the size of the bathroom we have at the moment.
The first sticking point of the day. In the city, Richard's having a little trouble accessing the bedrooms.
It's very secure. It's like secure areas. I'm wondering if they need ID passes to go from one floor to the other, to be honest.
It might be his first experience of a stairgate, but Richard's found an element of family life he can identify with.
I think I've got an outfit like this, though, but I haven't got a teddy bear. I wear it on special occasions when I'm going partying and stuff.
I should have known. Next stop, the attic conversion.
It is an awkward space, if I'm going to say anything. I don't know if I'd use it for a bedroom, but I wouldn't need to. Maybe this could be the office and the other things could be something else.
Or maybe even a back cave? Back in Epsom, Jamie's made his way upstairs, but is less than impressed with Richard's presentation skills.
He obviously knew we were coming.
But at least he's impressed with the space.
It's quite a decent size there, wasn't it? A double room. Yeah, just could be a good room for the kids. Cot here, cot over there. Yeah, nice and quiet as well, which is ideal.
And what about the decor?
Yeah, it needs a bit of touching up, doesn't it? The old wallpaper. Venetia would decide on deck decor, and I'd probably attempt to do it. And then after that, we'd probably get someone in to do it properly.
You know your limits, that's what I say. In South Woodford, Richard has discovered Jamie's guilty secret.
Now, somebody is very good at putting a front of being sporty, because I don't think this has ever been used, to be honest.
You've been outed, Jamie.
It's great, though. I really like that. I love this space. I must have. I love this space. It's a nice little retreat that you can just come through and just sit down and chill. I think it's a very nice house. I'm glad I made this choice. I don't know about the rabbit, though. That'd have to go. I don't do pets. Sorry.
Here today, gone tomorrow. Time for our swappers to get out and explore the local area. And less than inspired by Jamie's home gym, Richard's off to check out the professional option.
What do you think is going to change about the area with the Olympics coming?
I think it's not just a case of the sort of more facilities that are being built as a result of the Olympics, but I think a general upgrade and improvement on facilities already here as a result of the Olympics.
So I'm going to maybe take a run over there today after I finish this, because I think my shoulders are looking big, aren't they?
Yeah, they're looking good.
So I don't really need to do any more of that, do you think?
No more of that, no.
OK, excellent.
In Surrey, Jamie's found a different way to work his muscles. As he relaxes at Epsom's famous racecourse with racing fan Simon.
Do you have to be a horse fanatic interested in racing to move to Epsom?
No, of course not, but the great thing about the racecourse is the fact that the middle of the racecourse is Epsom Downs, which is like our most wonderful local facility, recreational facility that everybody gets to use.
Richard's keen to see the Olympic site 5 miles away in Stratford. But being Richard, he's not taking the bus. Oh, no. Surely he's just showing off now.
150, a big box of strawberry!
So it'd be a real pleasure, actually, being able to run this distance and to have such a beautiful site. But it is amazing. So I think London's going to be an exciting time in 2012, if this is anything to go by. And maybe I might even be living there by then.
Our swappers have spent the day testing out each other's homes and lifestyles, but is a permanent swap on the cards?
I certainly could imagine myself, the family and the children here on the Downs. It is beautiful, very peaceful, a lot of open space. You don't think you're particularly close to London or a major centre, so yeah, it does hold a lot of appeal, I must say.
I think it's great. I don't know why they're moving. I can see why they would want to go to Epsom, though, because as a family, with a family, it's a great place to be. So I think there's some synergy between what I want and hopefully what they want, and then maybe it'll work out.
The swap day seems to have been a great success, but there's a lot for everyone to consider. Is a permanent swap on the horizon? Only tomorrow will tell.
Now that's all over and done with, it's time for things to get serious. And when I say serious, I don't mean in a kind of dull, dry metaphysics kind of a way. I mean serious in a kind of wild tension drama kind of a way. Yes, it's time for some hefty negotiations to see if a permanent house swap is on the cards. And it's with a serious tone of voice that I introduce our talented negotiator, Sunita.
Sunita Shroff has been helping people find their dream properties and agree the best price for them for over 10 years. She'll be using her expertise to negotiate a deal for our swappers.
Negotiating can be a tricky and even emotional process, and the properties won't necessarily be valued at the same price. So it's my job to get both sides to agree on a fair and realistic price to swap. But house swapping isn't all about the money. It's about avoiding that awful chain, potentially avoiding the estate agent's fees, and of course of months of your property being on the market. So if both sides are prepared to negotiate, they could walk away with a great deal.
So let's remind ourselves of what Sunita has to bargain with. Richard has the Victorian semi in Epsom valued at £295,000. He wants to move back to London to enjoy the vibrant city lifestyle. Jamie has the end of terrace period property in South Woodford valued at £360,000. He wants to move his family out of the city to enjoy a healthier lifestyle in the greener suburbs. So, first things first, what's the feedback?
Now, Richard, you wanted to move closer to the centre, didn't you?
That's right.
Of London.
Yeah.
And you chose to go and visit the house in South Woodford.
Yes.
What did you think?
It was very bright and very white, and the good thing about it was an end of terraced house, so that really ticked my box. The back of the house, where I think it was a converted garage, that was a really special place, I suppose. That space could really be utilised. There's so much possibilities. So that was, for me, one of the major selling points.
And what about the cons?
The negative, I would say, was the third bedroom when you went upstairs into the loft. The area was so confined and the spaces were so awkward that I didn't really rate that room at all. But the other features in the house really make up for that.
So, Jamie, you went to visit the property in Epsom. What did you think were the pros?
I think the pros were the location. It was very close to the high street, so very practical for commuting. Parkland behind the house, so very green from that point of view, so a lot of healthy air.
So the actual property itself, what about the layout?
I like the fact it's got two rooms downstairs, which are quite versatile. I like the fact that it's got 3 decent-sized bedrooms, so that's quite useful. But the downside really is the bathroom downstairs, which isn't great for, of course, bathing the children. Again, that led on to the kitchen, which is quite small.
And I think there's a lot of potential with this property, isn't there, to put your own stamp on it?
Yeah, I think you could. I think it does need work from a decor point of view. Yeah, I think you've got the basics there and a lot to work with that house in Epsom. Yeah.
Time to move the discussions onto the finances.
Now, the Epsom property has been valued at £295,000. What do you think the value's worth?
Well, I did some research on the internet, looked at some equivalent properties. The house doesn't need a lot of work. Probably put a value of about maybe £260 on it, to be quite honest.
And I'd be inclined to agree with you, actually. OK, so if a house swap were to occur, your property is on the market at £360,000. So do you feel that the fair differential would be £100,000?
Yeah, £100,000 and anything else he wants to give, perhaps.
Oh, Jamie.
You've got to ask him, yeah.
Right, Jamie, the property's been valued at £360,000. What do you feel it's worth?
I don't think it's worth that at all, no. For me, space and value for money is really important. I'd have thought maybe around £330, if that, yeah.
I agree with you. Okay. I think knocking 10% or thereabouts off is about right. Moving on to what Jamie thought your property was worth, he felt it would be closer to £260,000.
That price needs to go up, definitely, from him if he's really serious about the house.
You need to bear in mind, with your property, he would need to do a lot of work. The downstairs bathroom, that's not a great layout for him.
No.
And also the kitchen's a little bit on the small side, but it's workable.
If he's looking at an extension there for that, it's going to cost him next to nothing, which will give him, actually the kitchen would be bigger than the kitchen he already has in. That's going to give significant value to the house. So again, I have to think about what potential I'm going to be giving up by giving it to somebody else to develop on that, and obviously to put the money into their back pocket. The 260 is completely ridiculous, to be honest.
Let's talk differentials then.
Okay.
So Jamie was suggesting a differential of 100,000. What do you feel would be the fair differential?
I think that, you know, but the house market is so volatile at the moment. You know, we don't know where it's going, to be honest.
No.
And it could change very rapidly. I mean, I had quotes on the house 2 years ago for around 320. You can't take 320 and give it away at 260. Doesn't make sense, does it, when you think about it?
Yeah, but 322 years ago, unfortunately, that was when the market was at its peak. I mean, it's terrible because it's not just you suffering. Everyone is having to take a price reduction.
Yeah. Well, I think from 320 to 295 is a price reduction, isn't it?
Not much.
Well,
if I'm honest,
it's not much, but it is a reduction.
It is a reduction. Okay. You're making the gesture.
And there's maybe ways to negotiate around that figure, but I don't see it going down nowhere near to 260.
So what are we going to take back to Jamie then?
I think that, you know, maybe 290. I'm willing to take another 5,000 off.
So if you say 290 and 330 for Jamie's property, that gives a spread of 40,000.
I think it's excellent news, and to do it with a smile because he'll be more accommodating then. I'm sure you will.
Richard has put forward a suggested swap of his property in Epsom plus £40,000 in exchange for Jamie's South Woodford home. But the offer is £60,000 less than what Jamie wants. So, what will he make of the deal?
Richard felt that £206,000 was far too low. Okay. It's been valued at £295,000 and he wants somewhere in that region. On the other hand, he in turn felt that your property might be worth about £330,000.
Okay.
If we did go with, obviously, his offer, which is his property at £290,000 versus your property at £330,000, that would give the differential of £40,000.
He's dreaming. No, not a chance. His house needs a lot of work. It's not ready to move into, is it? So that's the main reason. Yeah. We'd probably have to spend 40, 50,000 to get it up to a similar standard. I know he's obviously trying to drive a hard bargain, but not on this occasion.
So what do you think would be more realistic?
Well, if he's passionate about the house, he might want to push a bit further with the financial side of things. So, as a starting point, possibly if he can drop his price by a bit further to reflect the difference of, say, 80,000 between the two properties, I think that would be a fair option.
Sunita, we would like an update, please.
Well, they're both standing their ground. We've got Richard in one corner that's saying that no, he's not going to budge because his property really is worth a lot more because there's room for improvement. And then we've got Jamie in the other corner that's saying, well, my property's worth a lot more as well because I've actually made those improvements.
Right, OK, so you've got locked horns.
We certainly do.
If that's the case, will anybody break? And if so, who?
If only I knew that.
Only an hour into this negotiation and we've yet another suggested deal on the table. Jamie is offering his South Woodford house in exchange for Richard's Epsom home, plus an additional £80,000. Let's see how Richard takes this one.
What did he say?
After much negotiation, he's decided that he feels £80,000.
I knew he was going to come back with 80, actually. I just had that view, that thought in my mind. He's getting a little bit more than that I will be getting.
But he feels that he would have to plough a lot of money into the property.
Well, he can actually move in. There's nothing that he needs actually to physically do to that property. I'm not trying to be flippant about it because I'm not putting him down in any way. No. But I'm just giving it as it is. If he wants to move there, he can move right in there with nothing to be done.
But he does like a big bathroom. You saw he had a double sink.
And I like to have a Lamborghini parked outside, but that's not going to happen, is it? If there's going to be any compromise, it should be on his part. I could sit and wait till the property goes up.
But you don't want to. You want a house swap. You want to move. You want to move on.
I could use that £80,000 to get a little flat in London.
You couldn't.
I could use that £80,000 to get a little box in London.
A garage.
But I could still live there.
£40,000 is going to be too low. And you clearly think £80,000 is too high. I feel, in my opinion, a fair price to swap would be £60,000. And I think you'd both be walking away with a good deal. Because at the end of the day, Richard, your property is not worth as much as his property. They're both different values. So you've got to factor that in.
I can't make any promises, but I think I'm willing to consider that.
Time to put the final deal to Jamie.
I think the fair differential would be £60,000.
What's that based on?
Well, that's based on the fact that I don't think your property's too far out, and I don't think his property's too far out either. I mean, there is a substantial difference, but I think it's only £60,000. It's all down to you whether you feel that is worth it for you, whether you feel that that area warrants a £60,000 differential, whether the property has got enough space to invest in. So all of that sort of thing you really need to think about.
OK, cool.
After 3 hours of tense negotiation, the final deal stands at Richard's house in Epsom, plus £60,000 in exchange for Jamie's home in South Woodford. The deal offers our swappers the chance of a much-wanted change of lifestyle. But will that be enough for our two tough customers to accept the deal? It's decision time.
So, Richard and Jamie, now we're standing here holding these great big golden keys, but for a reason. They will reveal if there is a deal that has been done. Okay. Is there a swap or not? I think I'm going to go to Richard first. In 3, 2, 1, let's have a look. OK, half a deal on the table. There was a strange noise or a sigh coming from over here. Let's see your key in 3, 2, 1. Jamie. OK, so I've got to go to you first. So, why is it a not swap?
I just feel it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of aggro. We've just done up a house, so it's going to be back to square one doing it again.
And you've got the kids.
And the children.
Never underestimate how hard it is to do a house up with kids.
Yes, I've done it before, so I know how painful it can be.
But you, Richard, with your green key, it was obviously a good deal that worked for you.
Yeah, it did. It worked mainly because of the area, to be honest. I like the idea of going back into London. I think it would have been a good swap.
Well, all I can say is it's disappointing to get to this end result, but I think you've both got great homes in great locations, and thank you very much for sharing them with us.
We are a bit disappointed with the result. I think Venetia and I will keep looking. We'll consider house swap, consider using estate agents, and I think it's been a good, fun process, and it's really opened our eyes to what's in the marketplace.
I think the process has worked. I'm not disappointed. I just think there's opportunities now to swap with somebody else.
Well, half a deal. Shame it wasn't a full house swap, but a valiant effort by all. And those people who try to do something and fail are infinitely better than those who do nothing and succeed. So let's try again next time on House Swap.